Hi, I'm Beth Kephart. I'm here at the Rosemont Writers Retreat. I'm teaching memoir, meeting a lot of interesting people, and having a good time.
So welcome everyone to our Wednesday edition of the Rosemont College Writers and Readers Series, hosted by the Rosemont Writers Retreat and the MFA program here at Rosemont College. I'm very happy to welcome today's guest, memoirist, novelist, writer extraordinaire, Beth Kephart. Beth is one of those people who is so prolific it kind of doesn't seem possible. I think you might have an army of clones.
I do.
Yeah?
They're well-dressed and well-fed.
We'll talk about that, because it's just I just don't know how you do it all. And she's going to read from a selection of her work, which I'm excited about. So, welcome. Thank you all for coming. You write fiction for adults, fiction for young adults.
Yes.
And you write memoir and creative nonfiction.
Yeah.
Do you find in this vast genre of material that you have given to all of us to read, which is fantastic, do you find certain themes emerging? Are you drawn to specific topics over and over again, or are you looking for different ways to explore things?
I am interested in the urgent moment on the page, and I happen to feel deeply drawn to a number of ideas, a number of places in the world. And one of the reasons I write in so many different genres, frankly, is because if I begin to lose passion or urgency, if I begin to think I can't be original in that genre, I need to walk away from it for a while. I need to walk away, explore things, fail at things, come back at the genres in a different way. So that for my first 5 books were memoir. My 6th was the autobiography of a river flow. I then wrote a corporate fable. I then began to write very different kinds of young adult novels. I published a mini memoir. I'm now working on another memoir. I've written an adult novel that I'm talking to someone about right now. I am really a poor poet who extends her stories over time, over space. And I think I'm always finding on the page aspects of me that have yet to be explored or understood by me. I always write to find out. I never know what is going to happen in any of the novels. And really what happens is I'll be taking a walk, or I'll be dancing, or I'll be gardening, and a line appears. And I have to know what the next line is going to be. And it is as simple as that. I don't know what form is going to happen, nothing. And unless I'm writing review essays for the Chicago Tribune or the Philadelphia Inquirer, pieces I do are very much about the intersection of memory and place. I know what my boundaries are there. Otherwise, I don't know what my boundaries are. I don't want boundaries.
Wow. Goofy question. Do you have a favorite food?
Okay, so if I were stranded, which I often frankly am, I would eat apples, cheese, peaches, chocolate, and great bread with good butter.
All right.
Throw in a glass of wine and I'm done.
Great. Excellent.
So I'm going to read the first page and a half of 4 books. And they don't need any explanation because they're the first pages. The streets of Seville are the size of sidewalks, and there are alleys looking off from the streets. In the back of the cab where I sit by myself, I watch the past rushing by. I roll the smeary window down, stick out my arm. I run one finger against the crumble down of walls, touch them for you. Hello, Seville. At the Hotel de Plaza de Santa Isabel, the old lady in the vestibule is half my height, not even. She has thick elephant legs and opaque stockings, and maybe the sun banged her awake when I opened the door, or maybe the look of me disturbs her, but whatever it is, she's bothered. She puts her hand out for my deposit, finds a key, and knocks it down on the table between us. She thrusts her chin sky high, and I turn and take the marble stairs where there are so many smashed-in footsteps before mine, smashed in and empty and hollow. My room is long and thin, like a hallway corked on either end by a door. The first door takes me in from the stairs, and the second one takes me back out, past a bed, a toilet, a porcelain sink, toward a tall and thick glass window. Outside, 3 stories down, a man is sitting on a bench, and a nun and then another nun are dragging their black skirts across the plaza tile. There are orange trees cracking the concrete. You'll be home in 5 months, my mother said at the airport terminal 12 hours ago, just 12. 5 months is forever, I told her. You made your choices, she said, and I said no, because the only thing I chose was you. So that's Seville, and now I will take you to Berlin. We live with ghosts. We live with thugs, dodgers, punkers, needle ladies, pork knuckle. We live where there's no place else to go. We live with birds, a pair of magpies in the old hospital turrets, a fat, yellow-beaked grebe in the thick sticks of the plane trees. A man named Sebastian has moved to the Capes from France. My mother's got an eye on him. You've had enough trouble, Omi warns her. Moody shakes her head, mutters under her breath, calls her own mother Ilsa like they were sisters or friends. Like 2 decades in a war don't divide them. Like sleeping, dreaming, waking, breathing so close has quieted the one to the other. We live in a forest of box gardens in a city of tile. We live with brick and bullet holes. We live where Marlene Dietrich lived and the Kaiser and the Reich. We live here, and here is where I have learned what I know, all that I can tell you, including you can scrub the smell of graffiti out of the air with vanilla, cinnamon, nutmeg, lavender, sometimes oil of roses, but you can never scrub the paint off the wall. Be careful, Adal. Of course I'm careful. I'm in love. If you could see me, if you were near, this I would say, here. This is the apartment that does not belong to me. This is where I've come to, Florence, Italy, Santa Croce, the second floor of Verrazzano. These are the windows in the front and the windows in the back and the long grainy planks in between. This is what the owners left behind, their smell, mothballs, glue, tomato paste, their winter coats and boots, barebacks and houndstooth, their razors, creams, and gallon bleaches, their yellow butter tubs and Kool-Aid colored flasks and wide-bottomed drinking glasses from which the ivy grows. Up the walls, across the picture frames, over a bridge of thumbtacks, that ivy grows. See, I would say, here. It is night. A piano moans. In the apartment above, someone lights a sweet cigarette, puff clouds. Down in the alley behind the restaurant, the waiters smoke, and the cooks share a jug, and one of the restaurant girls is dancing in tall silver shoes. The moon is a lantern. I reach over the sill, into the ashy air, into the sound of that girl dancing. Be very still. It is early September. Across the ocean in West Philadelphia, it is not morning yet. In her round room in the Victorian twin, my best friend Maggie is sleeping. The cats and the dogs and the kids are sleeping, and the birds are sleeping, their heads on the pillows of their backs, their beaks tucked into their feather warmth, their ears alert, their wings ready. Danger. Thoughts in a circle. Moon out of reach. There is a ship of stolen things. See there. On the top bunk of the borrowed bed, up the squat ladder and among the Barbie pink sheets that no one sleeps in for now. An olive felt hat, a broken kaleidoscope, those scarves they sell for €3 each in the stalls of San Lorenzo. Nuts and bolts and rope and thread in the larger half of a cracked doorknob, a sheaf of bark and a skirt of lichen, and the jewels I can't help it, from their satin pillows. She's a thief. Glass beads, paper stamps, the garlic chains that hang from the hooks of the market. The rosaries at tourist shops, the braided cords of leather, the hard things and the soft things. I took them. I had to. Don't judge me. I lean into the night and the moon. I lean out and away from the borrowed room, the little girl drawers, the little gold chairs, the bottom bunk where sometimes I lie, curled on my side, trying to think my way out of this fix, out of me. Once I dropped a pencil. It rolled across the floor and disappeared beneath the heating grill. I needed the pencil, got down on my knees, found a tiny locked diary, no keys. Someone's left her life behind. I wish that you could hear me. Blue, for example, like the color the sun makes the sea. Like the beach bucket he wore as a hat, king of the tidal parade. Like the word I and the hour of nobody awake but me. I thought blue was mine, and that we were each ourselves, and that some things could not be stolen. I thought the waves would rise up, toss down, rinse clean, and that I would still be standing here solid. I was wrong about everything. In the beginning, it was just the beginning. The storm had no name. It was far away and nothing big, mere vapors and degrees. It was the middle-ish of September. Empty tables in restaurants, naked spaces in parking lots, cool stairs in the lighthouse shaft, no line for donuts, deer in the dune grass, padlocks and chains at the mini-amuse, the Ferris wheel chairs tipping and dipping. The beach belonged to old Carmen, and the campfire nobody stopped her from lighting, 4 logs and a flame in the sea. The beach belonged to the retrievers and the one collie and the mutts who limped behind, yapping like they thought they would someday take the lead. You could watch the sky and it was yours. You could stand on the south end of the barrier beach and see Atlantic City blinking on and off like a video game. You could ride your wheels home and the splat splat on the wide asphalt was your sweet siren song. Everything calm, nothing headed toward crumble. From within the fissure I rise, old as anything. The gravel beneath me slides blue-back herring and eel, alewife and shad mussel into my wide blue heart and through. The smudged face of a wolf pulls on my surface, and for that one instant I go blind. Hemlock to either side, nut trees, laurel copses, the stony backs of snapping turtles on the shore, muskrat shrew, and from the unlanterned forest, the bark of a fox, the skip, skip, skip of snakes over leaves, the prowl of a bobcat. And when it rains, the rain is its own kind of song, not just a drumming, but a lyric. Were there language, I'd be my own lone letter. He was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen, with his dark pelt and his well-groomed ears, the sterling glimmer of his whiskers. He was audacious, bold, spectacularly witty, and when he looked at me, he was looking into me. He was knowing my heart and all the places it has been to. He was not afraid of my complicated language, not afraid of my needs, not afraid of all that sinks or floats or ends with me. The bones in me, which are also seeds, the dust of distant life, the stories I carry, the color of my dreams, the weight of my confessions. What does it matter where he's come from? The point is, he might have kept going from river to river, but he came here to me. He has made us his secret, given me his wide soul to keep. He has told me his stories, and in that way he has saved me from my own. He has found a stone, and it's a jewel, and he has brought it to me. I tuck it into a shell. Maybe you have to stop looking to find your one true love. Maybe you have to trust that he'll find you. In the historic footnote upon which this is based, not long before midnight on March 20th, 2005, a river otter made its way up the Schuylkill River toward the viewing window of a fish ladder near the Art Museum. An underwater camera recorded his arrival before he slipped out of view. It's the last page of the book. Thank you for listening.